Manchester City 2, Chelsea nil, or should I say Chelsea nil, Manchester City 2, because the game was played at Stamford Bridge. You wouldn't believe it because it was so comfortable for Manchester City. New season, same City. For anybody, including me as a big Arsenal fan, who thought that City would be any different, no, they were still great. They were really comfortable in the game. Erling Haaland, again on the score sheet in his 100th appearance. And City was so comfortable in the game. They had no John Stones. They had no Rodri. Yeah? They had no Kyle Walker. No problemo. Chelsea, on the other hand, I thought they were disappointing. You're at home in your first game of the season. You know, you're up against, Manchester City. You're expecting a really exciting game. It wasn't. It wasn't an exciting game. And I felt a lot of that was because of Chelsea. They were so poor. Cole Palmer, non-existent. Nkunku, who I know is out all last season. Chance for him to shine in front of the cameras, non-existent. Nicholas Jackson, worked hard, non-existent. Poor from Chelsea, I thought. When you think of all the money that Chelsea have spent, really poor, in my opinion. It was not a good performance because you're up against an understrength Manchester City, and Manchester City dominated the game. Manchester City played like they were at home. The only shining light for me for Chelsea was Lavia. I thought Lavia was really good. Really good performance by him. But ultimately, it was a midfielder, an old boy midfielder, who scored the goal for Manchester City in Kovacic. He got the goal. And by the way, the goalkeeper should be saving that. That was a really poor... How many goalkeepers they got at Chelsea? 7. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. That midfield of Chelsea, was it? Caicedo, £100 million. Enzo Fernandez, over £100 million. Lavia, 50 million. And as I said, Lavia played well. Now they brought in Dewsbury Hall. I mean, I don't know. I was just very disappointed in Chelsea. You cannot go too much off the first game of the season, right? You can't. That's one thing I know, right? Because it's the first game. But I have to say, I was disappointed in Chelsea. For a team that's made all these new signings, none of them excited me. Pedro Neto came on, but it was a little bit late in the game. He didn't really get to do nothing. Didn't really make an impression on the game at all. And I'm just looking at Chelsea and I'm just thinking, are they going to do anything this season? Are they going to be any better than they were last season? I personally think they are going to be. But still, they're miles off. That's what you saw today. They are miles off Manchester City. They look miles off Arsenal. They look miles off Liverpool. That's what the impression that I got today. They are not going to be title contenders. They got a chance possibly of getting into the top 4, but they're going to have to play a hell of a lot better than they were today. I was disappointed in the manager. New manager, new players. Come on, bit of excitement. It's City. They're under strength. Have a go. They just seem to just be content with, trying to keep it. I mean, it was really safe. And Maresca last year wasn't that manager that was really safe. I know it's the Championship, but he really went for it in games. He was really brave, really pressed. But today it was just like, I don't know, for the first game of the season in front of your home fans. Disappointing by Chelsea, really disappointing. Let's just say a word for Erling Haaland. How good is this guy? I mean, his goal, you saw there why he's the best striker in the league. Strength and just clinical. Didn't get a lot of chances in the game. Didn't even get a lot of touches in the game. But when it mattered, bang, goal. And that's what makes him the best striker in the league. And then Kovacic with a great strike. I mean, he put a lot of power behind it. Wasn't really closed down in the midfield area, but The goalkeeper has to do better than that. And as I said, really, really disappointing. Manchester City are going to be right up there this year. You can see, as I said, the amount of players that they rested today and how convincing they were in a tricky game. Let's be real. If, as an Arsenal fan, if Arsenal are away to Chelsea, first game of the season, I'm worried about that game. But basically, City they did it at canter. And they are definitely going to be, the same old City this season. For anybody who thought there's going to be a big drop-off, there ain't going to be. They're going to be the team to beat this season. 100% they're going to be the team to beat. And the standards, as we've seen already today, the standards are going to be high again. If you're Arsenal, if you're Liverpool, you need to win every game. You need to be looking at winning literally every game if you're going to surpass them. They're going to be good this season. Chelsea, from what I saw, as I said, you can't go too much on the first game, but they still got a lot of work to do. And it still doesn't seem right at Chelsea. Raheem Sterling, before the game, not in the squad. His agent issued a statement talking about how he was ready for the game. He was the big sort of signing, in the Chelsea revolution. Now he looks like he's been frozen out. No Mudryk, 88 million. Now they bought in Neto. No Chilwell, he's been frozen out. I don't know, man. I'm looking at it after that first game and I'm thinking to myself, it's still a miss over there at Stamford Bridge. Who's the goalkeeper? Who's the striker? Are they going to get Osimhen or is it going to be with Jackson? No wonder Todd Bowley got up and left just before the end. He knows that things ain't right there. Something just isn't quite right at Chelsea. They're not title contenders this season. Top 4, maybe. Long way to go for this season. They've got really good players, but they're going to have to get it right really, really quickly. And there's this manager, Maresca, he's going to have to get it right. And I have to say, I did have a problem with Enzo Fernandez after that, a whole racism scandal with the thing with the French players and what happened in Argentina. For him to be captain today, is the manager really reading the room after what's been going on in this country with the riots recently and stuff like that? To make him captain just sums up Chelsea for me right now. Something ain't just quite right. So anyways, ended Manchester City 2, Chelsea 0. Same old City. Chelsea disappointing, but a long way to go.